Hi, hello. Nope, okay. Hi, hello. Okay. Hi, hello. Nope, nope, nope. Hi, hello, and welcome to Better Than Heroes, our unofficial Spelljammer influenced 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons live play game. I get that that was already a mouthful. That's why we wanted to make this video for you to kind of give folks a little introduction to what we're going to be doing. We've seen a lot of folks already excited to watch the game, but who've also said, I don't know what D&D is, and I don't know exactly what this is, but I'm excited. So we just wanted to give you a quick rundown in case that's helpful. Dungeons and Dragons is a tabletop role-playing game, which means that it's both a board game and a collaborative storytelling game. The simplest description is I'm going to be describing scenes as the dungeon master, and the players are going to tell me what they do, and then they're going to roll dice to see what the outcome is. The 4 comedians in this game, Aaron, Andrew, Jordan, and Rachel, they are the player characters. They're the protagonists, the main characters. Each of their characters has a class, which just means that they have specific special abilities that are really cool they can do. Some of them can cast spells. Some of them are really good at fighting. If you're Aaron, you can make armor. They're here to tell their character's story and guide them through whatever I throw at them. So they're going to make decisions based on what they think their character would do. And then if it's something that is difficult or at least has an uncertain outcome, I'm going to be asking them to roll dice. So that brings up me, the Dungeon Master, which is really just a term that means I'll be everything else in the game and the world. I plan out the setting, the other people that they meet, and I'm kind of responsible for the rules. There are a bunch of rules, and in my opinion, you don't really need to know them to enjoy this game. But some people might want to know a little bit about how the game works to feel like they can really get into it and understand what's going on. So here are just 3 things that I think you should know if you want to kind of keep score at home. But quick disclaimer, this is completely my opinion. There are lots of other things. First thing is there are 2 phases to D&D and most tabletop role-playing games. There's out of combat and in combat. It's kind of like in Pokemon, where most of the time you're just like walking around doing whatever you want, and then you hear the doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo noise, and then you're taking turns back and forth when your monsters fight each other in caves and forests and stuff. I don't talk about Pokemon. But that's true with D&D too, where most of the time all of the players will just be saying things whenever they want and doing whatever they want to do, and then it could take a long time or a short time or whatever. But then at some point, they will encounter something where they fight, and I, as the DM, will say, okay, now you need to roll initiative. Every time I'll say it just like that. Roll initiative, roll initiative, roll initiative. And that's when it kind of switches into a turn-based game. Where there will be a set order and each person acts in order. It can only do a limited amount of things on their turn, and that's to kind of simulate things happening really quickly because it's a fight. The second thing to know is something that I think makes Dungeons and Dragons and a lot of tabletop. The second thing to know that I think makes Dungeons and Dragons and a lot of tabletop role-playing games unique is that the player characters can die. You have a certain amount of hit points every day, and if you go down to 0 hit points, you're unconscious. Not dead yet, but actively dying. If that process isn't stopped, your character can die. No longer in this game, completely gone. Unless you use a resurrection spell, you make a deal with the devil, or the DM brings you back to be an evil villain and later in the campaign, but that's not important. Point is, the characters can actually die. When they're in danger, they could actually be in danger. And the third thing to know is that anything can happen. Sure, like, I plan things out, I put plot points out, but these are just things for the characters to interact with. They're going to change it all of the time. I aspire to be a DM who writes things so that all of the characters' decisions change things. I've absolutely had sketches of long plot arcs that are completely changed by a single dice roll. The outcome's uncertain. We're all kind of finding out what happens along with you. And that's it. That's all I think you really need to know to jump in. If you have any specific questions, feel free to hit us up in the comments or on our socials. But yeah, I think that's it. I feel like I'm forgetting something, though. So yeah, there's that. D&D is often played in a more traditional setting with like knights and wizards and castles and dungeons and dragons. But we want to get a little wild with it and play in an old school D&D setting known as Spelljammer, which is basically just fantasy in space. There are a lot of cool and creative ways that I feel like the old material makes it not just sci-fi, but fantasy in space. But I don't want to get into the weeds out here. Maybe I'll make a whole other video about it. But also maybe I'll just put links in the description because Jorphdan, WebDM, and AJ Pickett are really cool. But for those who want to know, I'm basically just reskinning 5e, trying to be influenced by a lot of 2e materials, homebrewing a lot of stuff like ship-to-ship combat and the rules for Spelljammer helms. But yeah, it's basically just 5e reskinned. If you're watching this video and you've run Spelljammer and you want to talk about it or have any advice, I would love to hear it. But also, please be really nice to me because I'm very nervous and I just really love Spelljammer. Okay, that's it for real this time. If you have any questions, feel free to hit us up on socials or just comment here. If you're really excited about this, like we are, we're very excited about this. And you want to support us, the best way to support us right now is just follow us on Twitch, follow us on socials, and tell your friends about the game. All right, that's it. See you Monday night.